You look out, and from the deck, you can see a mile in each direction. And that means that you have a vision of 4 square miles. And that's pretty big, you know, that's pretty big. And so when you live within that, what you can do is determine what's going to, what you'll respond to in the next 4 miles. But he said that if you climb the mast, let's just say that the mast is 35 feet. If you climb that 35-foot mast, and you look from way up at the top, that you look out and you can see 50 miles in each direction. 50 miles. A much vaster view. And if you put that together so that if you're looking all the way around you and you begin to see all the way around, you actually see 2,500 miles. Square miles. And so your vision about what is possible is vastly expanded. And we felt that that is what we did, is climb to the top of that. And that's what each of us do individually when we are willing to be quiet and to ask ourselves beyond our personal concerns, beyond our fears. When we're willing to sit quiet in meditation and to climb the mask of our soul and to look out and to catch the vision that God has for who we are, it is greater than we believe when we are caught in the affairs of the deck. And we start to see that, and we begin to come into mastery about our life. Because instead of being reactive to the level of the wave at the ocean, we are responsive to the level of the Spirit that is within us. And so this is what we're looking for. We're wanting to catch the Spirit that God has for our lives, and then to incorporate that core value into who and what we are, and to compare where we are out of alignment with it, so that when we get called into situations that we are constantly moving from that we know we are, instead of being reactive to outward situations that we cannot control. One of the things that he said about the prospect of doing this, it was, and this is again Stephen Covey, as he talks about being principle-centered is his term for this. And for me, that principle that's the center is a spiritual principle. He says, principles don't react to anything. And that's one of the first things that we're taught in the science of mind, is that principle is a law that's universally applied. It doesn't say, gee whiz, I sort of like you better than the other guy. You know, you prayed right, you know, or you did this right, or you did that right, so I'm going to favor you this day. Principle is a sound response that always happens. It's always predictable. And so he says, principles don't react to anything. They don't get mad and treat us differently. You know, anybody ever had that one happen? Not from a principle, but from a personality, right? They won't divorce us or run away with our best friend. They aren't out to get us. They can't pave our way with shortcuts and quick fixes. They don't depend on behavior of others, the environment, or the current fad for their validity. Principles don't die. They aren't here one day and gone the next. They can't be destroyed by fire, earthquake, or theft. Principles are deep, fundamental truths, classic truths generated, generic common denominators. They are tightly interwoven threads running with exactness, consistency, beauty, and strength through the fabric of life. Even in the midst of people or circumstances that seem to ignore the principles, we can be secure in the knowledge that principles are bigger than people or circumstances, and that thousands of years of history have seen them triumph time and time again. Even more important, we can be secure in the knowledge that we can validate them in our own lives by our own experience. And then he talks about the personal power that comes from principle-centered living is the power of self-awareness, knowledge, proactive, individual, unconstricted by attitudes, behaviors, and actions of others, or by many of the circumstances and environmental influences that limit other people. And so if you really want personal power, that power is always going to be over who you are and how you display who you are into the world. When you align that with a deep sense of what you value, what principles you value, and you bring those into your life, you are no longer reactive to the circumstances. And that means that you are the calm center of the storm, no matter what else is going on. It's helpful to know what you want to display, who you want to be, where are you going, and what do you value. Thank you.